Welcome back, and we now turn our attention to results of select companies. They are Academic Press, University Press, Learn Africa, and Red Star Express. Now, these are the stocks we'll be looking at their results. For Academic Press, we'll have it up there now. All right, so for Academic Press, we're looking at the Q3 2021 result. For revenue, they had 1.27 billion naira in 2020. That's what they generated in 2020. And in 2021 third quarter, they generated 2.75 billion naira. What we see there is a 118% change. And then for profit after tax in 2020 third quarter, they had a negative minus 179.55 million naira. And then we see that in 2021, there is an uptick, 138.99 million naira. That's in the positive. And then the percentage change there is 117%. For EPS, that's earning per share, we have 30 minus 30 kobo. That was in 2020. And in 2021, we saw 23 kobo. For the profit margin, it was also in the negative in 2020, 14.09%. And then in 2021, we see 5.09%. Now, looking at this, you will see that there is a commendable increase in revenue from 1.27 billion recorded in Q3 2020 to 2.75 billion recorded in the corresponding period of 2021. My question is, how exactly were they able to achieve this?
No, actually, if it comes to the printing business in Nigeria, they have their optic time, especially when it comes to that September. That is because that time period schools always resume, and they have to buy ahead for the new academic year for the schools. For me, I think that is what part of what impacted on the result of Academic Press, and also like what we were discussing on Wando, investor in Nigeria market should start rethinking of how to invest. When a child perform at the end of the day, it comes with results. But when a child have done poorly, when the dad is at the gate, he want to enter the toilet and run away. But when he has done better, once he hear the horn, he will be at the gate to perform and say, "Daddy, this is my result." Yeah. When you see company like Academic Press, we're already expecting to see their unaudited account, the audited account for now before the end of the month. We have not seen unaudited for for financial year ended March 31st, 2022. We are just seeing this one. For me, that is why I encourage investors that when a company is not regular in releasing that number, as at when you have to be very cautious and minded, because that is what Wado has done to investors in the market. They keep on keeping their result back. You don't know what is happening, and your investment that you want to assess where you have put your money, how the company has fared for that
but
period.
You're not talking about Wando,
But I'm coming. It's not because they are suspended. No.
Okay, I was going to say that.
No. For that, seeing this one for Academic Press, for me, fine, it's good, but you can see the way the market is treating the stock now, because they've nothing to guide them, because others have released on the account to know the state of the company as at full year ended the 31st March 2022. But now I've not seen the result. But with the third quarter we have seen, would have seen it look like if we have seen the unaudited account to give an insight. Because market have not seen it, this almost going to the end of the expected period to release it. That way they're treating this dropping every day. Now it's around 1 naira 17 kobo, which has started after almost 2 naira 50 kobo. That means in any market, result is very important. Let the investor know how you are performing.
Because decisions are actually made based on these things. Nobody, invests blindly.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. But Rotimi, while it is commendable that they moved from a negative position, to profit after tax of 138.99 million in 2021, we can see that there is a low profit margin, which is 5.09%. What's your thought? Rotimi, can you hear me? Rotimi, please go ahead if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So there's significant improvement in the performance of Academic Press. We can point to, 2020 was COVID. COVID was heightened.
Exactly, yeah.
And then so there was lockdown. Most people were at home. So nobody was buying books. So we noticed that towards the later part of 2020, there was the ease of the lockdown. Then 2021, the economic rebound, and all that. So that's where we can see that significant improvements. So 2021 is a reflection of what the business really is. So 2020 was just
the lockdown.
just one of those years that the business can actually have its own downtime. And I expect to see a continuation in this kind of performance from academic press and all that. So I think it's a good result. We can see the impact in terms of the share price, how investors had responded to the shares of academic press. I think that's a commendable performance compared to 2020. And then going forward, we might likely continue to see that. I think University Press also did something similar in terms of performance. So we can also tie it to what happened in 2020. Most businesses had improvement in 2021. Yeah.
Yeah.
So by the time you compare it, you're looking at the base, you discover that it's a significant move.
All right, I think we should move on to University Press now. For University Press, we're looking at the unaudited report, of course, and that's for Q4 2022, fourth quarter 2022. So we have the revenue generated. The picture will be up now, so we can have the breakdown of the earning for University Press. And so for revenue, we had...
that's good.
Okay, hello. Mr. Kofa, can you hear me?
Elijah, we're not hearing him.
Yeah, we can hear him.
Yeah, but I could hear him.
Okay, I can hear you now. Welcome. Good to have you. Yeah, good to have you with us. All right, now we are being joined by Alhaji Kasim Garuba Kurfi. Thank you so much for joining us, the MDAPT. Thank you so much. Okay, so we've talked about academic press, and now we're looking at university press. But just before we move on to university press, we'd like to have your thought on what's happening with academic press. For me, well, they did very well. Looking at the results in comparison to what happened in 2022, which of course a lot of us know that 2022 was that year when there was lockdown as a result of COVID-19 and all of that. But then I'm looking at the fact that the profit margin is just about a little above 5%. Is that sustainable? Is that a good one?
Yes, you know, if you are looking at reviewing the published companies, you don't assess them by the quarterly basis because the most viable quarter for them is the third quarter. When the school resumes, you get new sessions, new exercise. So the volume they recorded in the third quarter outweighed all the other 3 quarters. So the best way to assess publication company is third quarter of there.
Yeah.
They are seasonal company. Their performance work with the season. So by the time we enter into July, August, the session has finished. We are going into new session, new textbooks, new exercise, and therefore you see the demand and the volume traded during that time outweigh every other. So we assess them by margin of that third quarter.
All right, that's interesting. Very quickly, looking at University Press, we're looking at the fourth quarter 2022 audited report. We'll have that displayed on the screen now. So for University Press, in 2021, the revenue generated was 1.42 billion naira. And then in 2022, it was 2.31 billion naira. The percentage change being 62.41%. And then for profit after tax, it was 57.11 million naira in 2021, and in 2022 200.24 million naira. I mean, that's 250.64% change. For earning per share, it was 13 kobo. That was in 2021 Q4, and then in 2022 Q4 46 kobo, and then for profit margin 4.22% in 2021, and in 2022 8.68%. Looking at this particular result now, I am looking at the increase in revenue. That's one, and then I'm also looking at the 250.64% increase in profit after tax. Now, this is a lot. What exactly did they do differently to achieve this? Rotimi, please, I'd like you to get on that one. Rotimi, can you hear me? Okay, Mr. Kurfi, can you hear me? Okay, I guess we'll have to.
No, actually, I've said it earlier that just what Elijah just repeated when he came on board, that these sectors, when schools are coming back on board, that is where they make a lot of their sales, and it's like it's for the future. That quarter really support them for the whole financial year, knowing that March is their end of financial year. Take Q3 is always within their financial year, and that is the period they see good performance, because at that time schools, private school, public school are buying school textbooks and all for the rest of the session, and that time, and this school will pay ahead of it, because that is the period for that. We'll see all this kind of performance. But for me, academic press have not done badly for the past 5 years. They've been performing excellently. Seeing this result, I'm not surprised that the market has not reacted to it much, because it has not crossed this 3 naira mark. Before, the price was as low as almost 1 naira 80 kobo. It moved to as high as 2 naira 96 kobo. As little within that price. With this performance, let's see what they're going to pay at the end of the year, because this is an unaudited account for 2022 financial year. If a good dividend come with a 40 kobo, for me, look at 40 kobo as their final earnings for the year. I don't expect anything more than 20 kobo from that, and that might also put the price much. But let's see how it goes, because if you look at the performance of those printing companies, I can see that the results are not looking badly. Look at what Learn Africa has done. Look at this university press and the academic press, and I can see that they are not doing badly. Only that their price is yet to reflect their performance.
Okay, the price is yet to reflect the performance. That's a very good one, and it's quite instructive. We'll take a break now, and when we return, we'll continue the conversation. We'll still have Learn Africa and Red Star Express to talk about. Stay with us. Glad to know you stay with us. And kicking off with Learn Africa, I will have the results displayed on the screen for us. This is their fourth quarter 2022 result. We're looking at it against fourth quarter 2021. So for revenue generated, 2.39 billion naira in 2021. In 2022, 3.70 billion naira. And then the percentage change is 54.73. For profit after tax on Q4 2021 was 161.08 million naira, and then in 2022 456.12 million naira. Now this is 118.16% change. Looking at the earning per share, 26 kobo in 2021, and in 2022 59 kobo. Looking at the profit margin, 6.69% in 2021 and 12.33% in Q4 2022. Now, it's good to see many of the companies grow their top line in the review period. That's something we can't take away from them. But then, is there any peculiar reason for this? Maybe they're all just recovering from the pandemic, or what happened? Why is it that all of them seem to be recovering and the top line is quite good? Mr. Kofi, please, I'd like you to get on that one. Alhaji. All right, okay. Rotim, if you can hear me, please, I would like you to talk to us about that.
Okay, so apparently I actually not seen those other results, but I could almost presume that will be the trend for the publishing sector.
Okay.
Okay, that's okay.
That sector also they're able to pass on costs
To consumer.
They're able to pass on costs to consumers of the product. Yes, now so try to buy books. Try buying any book in recent time. You'll notice that you'll be paying a little more because the printing items, the prices have also gone up by virtue of most of these printing items are.
Okay, I guess that's a connection. Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead. All right, let's have your thoughts on that.
Just like you just said, in that industry, you know that when it comes to education, parents don't joke with it. Even it's
Nobody does.
And even though you are not taking care in terms of normal eating 3 square meals, when you come to schools, you need to pay for the books for your child. For that, like you just said, if they are push the cost to consumer, because it has to do with education, parents will go out of their way to buy that good. That is why you can see improvement in their numbers. For me, it's a good one for the company, but I said earlier, this performance, we're yet to sit on their prices. Like the price of Learn Africa, touched as high as 280, coming down. But you can see from the sector now, is the company leading in terms of performance, in terms of the bottom line, and in terms of earning per share coming from the Learn Africa, 56 kobo earning per share for a store that is selling below 3 naira. For me, it's a good one. If at the end of the day, they afford to pay 25 kobo to 30 kobo from that, that would be a good one to move the price to around the 3 naira For me, let investors that are really looking at low cap stores to position, this is a good one, because any moment from now, between now and 30th of June, all these results should read their audited account. We are just seeing unaudited, but they have between now and 30th of this month to release the audited. If it comes and their payout is okay, encouraging, the price will rally. That is why, as a good investor, you don't need to see the audited. Now you have seen the unaudited, you have seen the earnings. Then you can look at the company policy, what is their payout before now for 5 years or for 3 years, if you want to compare and see what is likely to come out from their earning per share of 56 kobo. That will guide you to know whether you should take position now before the result finally hit the market. Because I said, even investments against the future. When I say future, against tomorrow, I mean you need to position now before the result finally hit the market.
All right. Thank you for your thoughts on that one. Now, do we have Mr. Kurfi? Can you hear me now? Okay, Rotimi, I guess you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
All right, now Len Africa.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes. Len Africa actually has the best bottom line, and that is looking at some of the indices that we have just talked about. Looking at the profit after tax, it grew by 183.16%, while the profit margin grew from 6.69% in Q4 2021 to 12.33% in Q4 2022. Talk to us about this, how they're able to achieve this. That's like the best result we've seen so far, looking at the profit margin.
So it's the function of how Ambrose has spoken about it. You know, when it comes to education, there's nothing you can do about it. Your children must read a book.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, looking at Red Star Express now, we'll be looking at Red Star Express. I wanted to know what Len Africa was doing different, what it was doing differently from every other company we've talked about today.
Actually, in every sector, there will always be a leader. But in terms of number now, consider they are the one leading, but in terms of price, University Press is the one leading in terms of price, but in terms of numbers, performance, consider Len Africa. That is why I say every investment again in the future, since market is here to appreciate this, it's the time for designer investor to look at among this company, where should I put my money? When market start appreciating this performance, to take the price up.
Absolutely. Now let's look at Red Star Express. For Red Star Express, we're looking at the fourth quarter 2022 unaudited report. Let's have it displayed right now on the screen, so we'll look at that together. For revenue generated in 2021, we had 9.46 billion naira, and in 2022 we saw 12.66 billion naira. That's a percentage change of 33.90. And then for profit after tax, 184.15 million naira in 2021, and in 2022, 265.70 million naira. That's 44.29% change. Looking at the earning per share, we have 20 kobo in 2021 and 28 kobo in 2022. The profit margin 2021 was 1.90%, and in 2022 it was 2.10%. Now this company for me has a very slim bottom line, quite frankly. Talk to us about it. Why is it so slim?
Actually, I think if you look at what is happening, the trend of things in the world globally, not only in Nigeria, a Korea business are the ones selling, and this company has, the last 2 years they did what we call a private placement. It was called right issue to raise funds to kind of invest in other equipment that will help them for kind of moving perishable goods, investing in those kind of buses or long trucks that they can move perishable goods from far distance. Either we are moving from north to the south, no matter how long it's on the road, because they are using a good facility, good vehicle. But we have not seen this reflecting on their port online as we speak now. Like you just said, the result is the numbers are very steam or team, as you just referred to it. But I believe that going to the future, we should expect that these days people are not going to the market to buy, even doing orders from their home. Now giving them your address, they deliver at your doorstep. This should also impact on Korea business, and this is what they are doing in Nigeria. For me, we expect them to post a better number, because the COVID-19 has changed the whole system, that people order things from the house and it's delivered on their doorstep. For me, I've not seen much on this company. Let's look to the future. But they did a good investment after their last private placement to acquire more machine, acquire more vehicle that will help them to kind of provide storage for the goods of their clients and also, but these have not reflected on their numbers. We believe that in the future to come, but the price is still oscillating, and the performance for the past 3 years has not been stable, up and down. That is why the price has not also moved above 3 naira. This is what I've seen around 5 naira, 4.50 before, but these days have not crossed 3 naira, 3.10, 3. For me, I think they will need a more better performance so that market can appreciate the company and the price. I tell you, when a company performs poorly, market will treat you that way. When you also do well, market will appreciate you.
Absolutely. We'll come back to there's this thing I would really like you to talk about, for investors. But before then, we have Mr. Kasim Garuba Kofi with us. Can you hear me now? Alaji, can you hear me?
It's like Alaji network today is very, very poor.
Okay. Rotimi, can you hear me? Rotimi, can you hear me? All right, well, we're still looking at the results that we have, reviewed today. If you were to talk to investors, what would you say to them looking at these 4 stocks? If they are to take positions, what position?
Like I always say that numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
If numbers don't lie, we have seen the performance of this company displayed to them. Now we are not telling that they have seen it themselves. You have to choose from the numbers you are seeing which one is better. For me, I would advise that investors to look the world for Learn Africa. Learn Africa is not only just because of the number. They also plan to acquire companies to expand their business, and also they are planning to do right issue to invest more on their business. Before a company will be going for right issue, that they need money to expand their business. They are going to do right issue, and also they acquire another business that's related to what they are doing. That means they want to take a larger share of the market, and the numbers already showing that they are the leader in terms of performance.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay, I think Alhaji is trying to connect.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear us, sir?
I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, sir. Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, go ahead. I would like to have your thoughts. We've talked about Red Star Express. We've talked about Learn Africa and some other ones. Let's have your thoughts on Red Star Express. I guess the connection is just terrible today. I'll just wrap up with your
Hello,
thoughts.
Sir. Can you hear us? Hello?
And Alhaji just to have very strong connection.
I'm surprised today.
Yeah, Nigeria happens today.
Well, actually, as I was saying, that this time, let the numbers guide you as an investor. Like, what we do in invest data, we combine fundamental and technical analysis. If you are saying that the fundamental of a company is becoming impressive, then look at what is the market doing in terms of sentiment and in terms of volume. Now, we're seeing that this result is good. Can see the price of this Learn Africa going up and down. It says that there's people are looking at it. Now we have seen the number already, the unaudited account.
Yes. Learn Africa, as he said, it looks at this line of product to go for Learn Africa.
Okay.
Okay, I think we just have to end it there. Seriously,
your network, sir, today
your
network today is very fast, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, I tried.
Okay,
bye.
I hope you discuss about the bundle issue.
Yes, we did the one though. Okay. Do you want to continue to add to it, sir?
Yes, I wanted to add.
I think the network, the connection is better now. So very quickly,
go ahead, sir.
Let's have you.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Yes, what I'm saying that
okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kofi. I think we just have to end it there. The connection is very poor.
Yeah.
It's very poor. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And we've had Rotimi Olubi, the Managing Director, ARM Securities Limited. Thank you so much, Rotimi, for coming on the show and for airing your thoughts. And of course, we've had Mr. Kofi Garuba. Thank you so much for coming on the show. He is the MD, APT Securities and Phones Limited. Unfortunately, we couldn't hear him very well because I don't know. Yeah. The network was so bad today. But of course, we look forward to having a better time with you next week, Friday. We do appreciate everything you do and for even trying very hard to be a part of this conversation today. Thank you so much. And of course, to my in-house analyst, in the studio analyst.
Yeah, anyone. In-house studio, anyone. You are correct.
Yeah, I'm Bruce Omodion, Chief Research Officer, Invest Data Consulting. Thank you so much for
Thanks
coming.
for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for being a part of the conversation today. Next week, we'll definitely have better conversation, and the network will definitely be better next week. Enjoy the weekend. I am Perpetua Fasami Peter. Bye for now. See you some other time.